It was just like a chain of thoughts that made my body just become so unwell. It hurt for people to touch my skin. I couldn't eat and I couldn't walk. I ended up going to hospital. I don't know, it was just scary really, because I didn't know what was wrong, but I just knew that I would never felt right. I'm 14 now, but I was 10 years old and still at primary school when I hit crisis point. Walking to school I used to go dead slow because what if I get picked on, what if none of my friends are there, what if I'm on my own all day? So all the thoughts used to just roll on in just like a minute, and I used to think of all the worst situations. If a teacher asked me a question, like my heart would go like dead fluttery and like my hands would start to sweat and I'd start to go bright red, and like I couldn't say anything. I was just like stuck, like freaking out. Because you can't see what's really going on the inside, it took a long time to be taken seriously, and eventually I became so poorly I couldn't even leave the house. No one could touch me because that would hurt. I was in a wheelchair for a while, and I couldn't eat, and like this all stemmed from anxiety. So like even though it is in your head, well, not like it is in your mind and you can't see it, it does affect loads of other physical things. Mental health might be invisible, but it's no joke. There are lots of children just like me struggling with their worries. In fact, a charity that does counselling in primary schools say that more than half the kids referred to them are depressed, and almost 3/4 show signs of anxiety. Miss Bruce has been at Cubitt Town Junior School for over 20 years, and she's seen a big increase in children struggling with their mental health.
I think we've noticed in the last 5 years mainly, but probably 10 years before that, there's been a bit of decline in children's mental health or well-being. More so children falling into depression really, really early, anxiety about exams, about academic, about family matters. We've seen behaviour disruption disorders, more ADHD that is coming in. But children that tend to just be more aware of what's happening in the world and very, very unhappy. And they're coming into school with all these things behind them and having to just be children.
Here the children are given diaries in which they can record their emotions so teachers can spot things early. Everyday worries are found in every classroom.
When I'm worried, my heart pounds really fast and sometimes I stutter and my hands get sweaty. I just want it to get over it. I don't know how to really describe this, but you get butterflies in your stomach and you feel sick. You feel like you're going to faint and you don't know what's going to go on after that moment. So it's difficult to describe.
Well, when I get worried, I just feel this just beating in my head, pounding and saying, you can't do it, you can't do it. And I'm like, I think I can beat it.
But talking about how you feel is always difficult.
I normally talk to my mum or my hamster.
Me talking to my stuffed animals, for instance. It's sort of embarrassing me saying this, but I speak to them because I know they wouldn't judge me or make me feel worse than I already was.
In the public eye, and a lot of the work that's done, it's done in secondary schools, and I think they've always seen mental health issues as being a secondary school problem, but I think it's happening younger and younger and younger, and I think that is the issue.
Miss Bruce isn't alone. 55% of head teachers report a large rise in pupils with anxiety and stress. This is my mum. She's a teacher too. Because of what happened to me, she knows how important it is that even in primary schools, children know how to manage their worries before they get out of control.
Well, let's start our lesson with a practice. So let's start with finger breathing. Okay, so coming to sit well, so feeling your feet on the floor and your bottom on the chair. And then when you're ready, bringing your attention now to the breath in the body and bringing your finger to the bottom of the thumb. And as you breathe in, just tracing your finger up the thumb. And as you breathe out, trace it down.
Mum teaches a 6-week mindfulness in schools curriculum to children from the age of 7. It teaches them about their brains, minds and how their thoughts work.
And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes.
Going back to what happened to me, Mum remembers how difficult it was to find the right help.
I was just desperate for anything to help and to support us. And there just was no help, so it was hard.
Eventually, I went to hospital and received the right medical treatment, cognitive behavioural therapy and the support I needed. It was then about learning how to manage things going forward. If my anxiety came, I can now just feel my feet on the floor and just breathe and feel my breath and feel right, I'm all right, there's nothing wrong. And my worrying thoughts aren't facts, they're just thoughts. With the rise in the number of young people suffering with anxiety and evidence that the problem is affecting younger and younger children, we need to wake up and ensure services and support reach children before things get too bad. It's really nothing to be ashamed about. I'm fine to tell anyone about it. I'm quite proud of where I've come from to where I am now, so I can show people if they are going through things and stuff that, it does get better, that there is at the end of the tunnel.